everyone, Sarah here. I've been asked a few questions about what I like to wear when I go hiking in the non-summer months. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about what I like to use when it's colder outside. To start off with, I like to have a base layer of merino wool. It keeps me cozy and right next to my skin, and it's nice and soft. As well, it also allows for a little bit more motion, so when I'm hiking or if I have to climb and grab anything, it allows me to move a little bit more freely. On top of that, I like to wear a mid-weight base layer. This allows me to stay a little bit more warm as I tend to get really cold even indoors, so for me, heat retention's a must. On the bottom, I like to wear just a basic capri length base layer and underneath a pair of fleece leggings. This allows me for the most heat retention as well as mobility when I'm out there hiking. On my feet, I like to wear a longer length merino wool sock. This allows, again, for better heat retention as well as I don't get a lot of bunching and it prevents blisters around my shoe line. On top of all of that, I normally wear some sort of fleece layer and then what I like to call my puffy insulator layer on top of that. That tends to be how I like to start out my day. It allows me to take layers on and off as I'm expending more energy, or if it's a colder day, put more back on if I'm getting chilly. In my bag, with that in mind, I always have a hard shell jacket and a pair of hard shell pants, both to repel the wind and water, as well as to help insulate me when we stop for anything like lunch or to have a quick breather for our break with the group. For the rest of my kind of accessories that I like to wear, I like to always have a merino wool neck tube that can be doubled up as either a neck tube or as a balaclava to help keep me a little bit warmer depending on what the weather's like. I like to also have a fleece windstopper headband. For me, my ears are really sensitive, so I like to have the extra protection, and it also allows me to kind of regulate my heat retention a little bit better as well. I have a toque that I keep with me in my bag for when I stop or if my head starts to get really chilly or the temperatures drop. As far as my hands go, never doubt the power of a pair of stretchy gloves. When you have to stop and tie your shoe, you don't want to have your bare hands out, so having these in your pocket is, for me, an essential item because they do help kind of keep that nippiness out of your fingertips. I also always like to have a pair of fleece-lined wool mittens with me, partly because I like the fact that they will stay warm even if they get wet, as well as I find that they allow me a little bit more mobility and dexterity. So if I'm hiking with poles or I need to, as I said before, grab or climb anything, it allows me to kind of have that little bit more mobility, as well as, again, my fingers get cold, so they keep my hands warm. In my bag, I always have an extra waterproof stuff sack that I stuff in an extra pair of socks, an extra long sleeve shirt, and a pair of hard shell mittens. This is just in case my wool ones get too wet and I can then swap out anything I need. Using a waterproof sack also means that if my bag ends up, unfortunately, in a creek or in the snow, I don't have to worry about my extra layers getting too wet. On top of all of that, I also always like to hike in any time that there might be ice with some sort of metal spikes. The reason is that you don't know really what you're going to encounter at the trailhead. Higher elevations, you may find that there is a lot more ice, snow, and unpredictable terrain, and these give you just a little bit of peace of mind. They're small, they're light, and I pack them in my bag all the time. Other things that are in my bag pretty well all the time include a first aid kit, and they don't have to be big, just small enough to have some tape in them, some gauze. Usually I like to make sure I have some band-aids in case you get blisters. I often like to also carry a tensor bandage with me. I've personally been on a few hikes where I've either injured myself or someone else in the group has, so I think that that's kind of a nice thing to always have with you. I always have sunglasses with me. This is especially important in the winter. You might not realize it, but snow blindness is a real thing, and you don't want to hurt your eyes. So always carry a pair of sunglasses with you, as well as I always have in my bag headlamps. You never know what's going to happen. It's better safe than sorry. They're light, they pack away easy, so it's just something really easy to have. So all of this stuff easily fits in my bag. I personally like to hike with a bit of a lighter weight bag. Some people prefer a little more structure. I find that the lighter weight bag allows me to kind of smush it through places if I need to, as well as it's a little bit lighter for me, and so I don't have to worry about carrying extra weight of just the pack itself. But everything will fit in here, no problem. And then you're ready to go. The other thing I also like to point out is that with any of your bags, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of extra room once you're done packing it. First of all, you need to pack water and snacks in your bag. The other thing is as you're taking layers on and off, you're going to want a place to put them. If you have space in your bag, it's just an easier way to carry them. Rather than trying to like tie them around your waist or tie them to your bag, you can actually just shove them right in, and then they're protected from the elements again. So hopefully that helps. I hope that everybody finds that somewhat helpful, and that you guys have a great time hiking in your non-summer months.